Hi, I'm Mr. C, the teacher, and this is my classroom. So grab your tools for school and join in with us. Or sit back and just watch. And let's go on a learning journey together. Because you're watching Lessons from the Classroom. Well, let's take a look at what the topic for today's episode is going to be about. All right, in this episode, we're going to talk some more about health. Dental health for your teeth, getting lots of exercise, physical fitness, also de-stressing, finding ways to relax and just calm down, and the dangers of smoking cigarettes. All right, let's do some learning. You know what? Not just washing your hands and taking a shower is important, but also your teeth need to be brushed. That's also an important step to staying healthy. Going to the dentist about twice a year to have your teeth checked and cleaned, but also at least twice a day, if not 3 times a day, brushing your teeth. This poster here gives us some hints. Brush outside your teeth, brush inside your teeth, brush way in the back, brush the top, and the bottom, and brush your tongue.
Hey, let's sing some campfire songs.
Try and brush for as long as you can, because the longer you brush, the cleaner your teeth get, the more plaque and germs come off your mouth. All right, so a long brush is better than a hard brush. Brush softly and gently, but brush for a long time. And do a good thorough job. I'm gonna go and finish brushing my teeth right now. I'm gonna go spit in the sink. After plaque mixes with food, it turns into acid monsters, which can cause cavities. You want to brush that off. Ugh. Dr. Rabbit reminds us to brush our teeth at least twice daily. Dr. Rabbit also tells us to replace our toothbrush regularly, because worn out toothbrushes, they're useless. I change mine about once every 3 months.
More worksheet lessons.
So here we have a worksheet on health. It's called the Dentist Storyboard. And up at the top here, it says, dentists help everyone keep their teeth healthy and strong. It is important to brush your teeth at least 2 times a day and use floss. Hey, when was your last checkup? Test your memory by cutting out the drawings and then placing them in the correct order. So we're going to color these pictures, cut them out. We'll use a glue stick and glue them on some construction paper in the correct order. We've got check teeth, check in, sit in chair, clean teeth, take x-ray, put on bib, rinse with fluoride. All right, I think first job we better do is we better get these colored. Rather than spending a lot of time with you watching me get them colored, let's just snap the fingers and get a colored picture. There we go. Picture's colored. Next job, take some scissors. Let's get them cut out. Okay, I've got all my pieces cut out. Let's grab a piece of construction paper and a glue stick and we'll get them glued on in order. Now, it's always a good idea before you start gluing to set the paper up where you think you might want it so that you know you have enough room for everything. Otherwise, if you glue something into place, you might find you run out of room. Let's start with the title, Dentist Storyboard, up there. When I go to the dentist, one of the very first things I'll end up doing is I'll check in at the dentist office. So that's going to be my first one. The next thing they'll have me do is they'll have me sit in the chair. Then the assistant will put on a bib And often what they'll want to do first is they'll want to take some x-rays so they can take a look at those x-rays before they start doing anything with my teeth. And they'll usually check the teeth, clean the teeth, and at the very end I get to have some fluoride to rinse around in my mouth and spit out into the little sink. So I'm pretty happy with the order that I've put them in. Now my job is to take my glue stick and glue them all into place. Okay, there we go. I've got my dentist storyboard. Check in, sit in the chair, put on the bib, take an x-ray, check teeth, clean teeth, and rinse with fluoride. Time you're at the dentist, check to see if this is the order that they do it in. Hey, you know what? Another way to stay healthy is to make sure you get plenty of exercise. Your heart is a really strong pump. And when you give it lots of active play, it gets stronger and stronger. And when your heart is stronger, well, it makes active play even easier. Now, your heart needs active play, but it does also need rest. And so if you don't get enough rest, well, your heart won't feel like all that active play, which can be a lot of fun.
Oh man, that kid snores loudly.
And many kinds of play will keep your heart healthy and active. And if you follow these simple suggestions, your heart will get the active play and exercise that it needs to get stronger. 1. Play at things that are fun. 2. Do some kind of activity play for at least 30 minutes every day. And do activities that make your body feel warmer and make you breathe harder. That way you know you're actually working hard. And try to play at activities that use many different muscle groups. Your arm muscles, your leg muscles, your back, your stomach area. All the different muscles in your body should be tried to be used. And although you should try and play for at least 30 minutes a day, you should also try and play for at least 15 minutes non-stop without a rest. And that way you know you're really building up that strength in your heart. Active play can also be called aerobic exercise because your heart and your body need oxygen to work. Here's just a few suggestions of things that you could do for active play. Try swimming or inline skating, walking a dog or riding a bike, running, rope jumping, or playing floor hockey, dancing, doing cross-country skiing, ice skating, basketball, soccer, tennis, field hockey, volleyball, canoeing or kayaking, ringette, hopscotch, snowshoeing, rowing, ice hockey, or roller skating, and lots of other different kinds of sports and activities. You know, I love being surrounded by great books, because one of my favorite things to do is to read stories. So, let's make some time right now and read a storybook. This is story time. Franklin Goes to the Hospital. Written by Paulette Bourgeois, illustrated by Brenda Clark, and read by Mr. C, the teacher. Franklin sometimes had colds and tummy aches, and every now and then he got cuts and bruises. He went to the doctors for regular checkups, and once the doctor came to Franklin's house. But until now, Franklin had never been to the hospital. Franklin and his friends were playing soccer. The ball was kicked to Franklin and it hit him hard in the chest. "Oof!" he groaned. But he kept on playing. That night at bath time, Franklin said, "Ouch!" when he dried his tummy. His mother took a closer look. She said, "We'll go to the doctor first thing tomorrow." With gentle fingers, Dr. Bear poked and prodded Franklin's shell. She discovered a small crack. "It isn't serious, Franklin," she said, "but I have to put a pin in your shell to help it grow properly. I'll schedule an operation for you tomorrow morning at the hospital." "Will it hurt?" asked Franklin. "We'll give you sleep medicine before the operation, so you won't feel a thing," replied Dr. Bear. "When you wake up, you'll be a little sore, but we'll keep you in the hospital overnight to make sure that you're okay." Dr. Bear explained that operations can only be done when a patient has an empty stomach. She told Franklin not to eat or drink after bedtime that night. Franklin didn't mind. His tummy was too busy flip-flopping for him to think about eating. After school, Franklin's friends came to visit. Franklin showed them the book about hospitals that Dr. Bear had given him. Fox pointed to a picture and asked why everyone was wearing a mask. "Masks keep germs out of the operating room," explained Franklin. "Are you scared?" asked Beaver. "Of course he's not scared," replied Bear. "Franklin's very brave." Franklin didn't say anything. It was early when Franklin and his parents left for the hospital. With his blue blanket and Sam clutched in his arms, Franklin said goodbye to his room. Franklin's mother gave him a hug. "You'll be home tomorrow," she reminded him. "I know," Franklin said softly. "You're a very brave little turtle," said his father. At the hospital, Franklin was given a bracelet with his name on it. Then an attendant pushed him down a long hallway in a wheelchair. Franklin stared at all the strange equipment on the carts and trolleys, and he wrinkled his nose at the unfamiliar smells. As they went around corners and through doors, Franklin kept checking to make sure that his parents were keeping up. At last, they reached Franklin's room. A nurse gave Franklin a special gown to wear. She took his temperature and his blood pressure and listened to his heart. Next, she rubbed some cream on his hand. "This will numb your hand," she told him. "Then it won't hurt when the doctor puts in the needle for your sleep medicine." "Okay," said Franklin in a small voice. "You're a very brave patient," said the nurse. Soon the attendant came back to take Franklin to another room. Dr. Bear was waiting for him. "We're going to take some x-rays," she said. "I need to know exactly where to put the pin." "I don't want x-rays," whispered Franklin. "X-rays don't hurt," explained Dr. Bear. "The machine only takes pictures of what's inside you." "I know," said Franklin. He started to cry. Dr. Bear sat down beside Franklin. "Please, tell me what's wrong," she said. Franklin sniffled. "Everyone thinks I'm brave, but I've just been pretending. X-rays will show that inside I'm scared." "Oh, Franklin," exclaimed Dr. Bear, "an X-ray doesn't show feelings. It only shows shells and bones." "You mean no one will know I'm afraid?" Franklin asked. "No one," replied Dr. Bear. "But just because you're afraid doesn't mean you aren't brave. Being brave means doing what you have to do, no matter how scared you feel." Franklin thought for a few moments. "Well, I am scared to have the operation," he finally said. But I know I have to, so my shell will grow big and strong. Dr. Bear smiled. That's what being brave is all about. Franklin let out a very deep sigh. Oh, I'm ready now, he said. When the x-rays were done, Franklin was taken to the waiting room. We aren't allowed into the operating room, Franklin, said his father. But we'll be with you in the recovery room when you wake up, his mother promised. Soon Dr. Bear came to get Franklin. His mother and father kissed him and waved as he went through the doors. In the operating room, Franklin said hello to the other doctors and nurses. Dr. Bear put stickers on Franklin's chest and explained that this was how they would watch his breathing and heartbeat during the operation. Then Dr. Raccoon put the needle for the sleep medicine in Franklin's hand. It didn't hurt at all. When that was done, he asked Franklin to count backwards from 100. But I can only count backwards from 10, Franklin said. That will be just fine, said Dr. Bear. 10, 9, 8, began Franklin. And that was as far as he got. Wake up, Franklin, called a faraway voice. But Franklin didn't want to wake up. In his dream, he was scoring the winning goal. Wake up now, Franklin, said his mother. Slowly, Franklin opened his eyes. He saw his parents and Dr. Bear, and then he remembered. I haven't finished counting, he said in a wobbly voice. But I've finished operating, said Dr. Bear with a laugh. Two hours later, Franklin was back in his hospital room. He walked slowly to the mirror and looked at his bandages. I guess it'll be a while before I can play soccer again, he sighed. Dr. Bear thinks you'll heal very quickly, said Franklin's father. She also said, you're an excellent patient, added his mother. Franklin smiled. That night, after Franklin's parents had gone home, Dr. Bear came to see him. I have something to show you, Franklin, she said. She held up an x-ray. Is that me? He asked. Dr. Bear nodded. That's you, she said. Brave, through and through. Oh, hi, Queen Phoneme. Thanks for coming in to see me.
Yeah, no problem. What do you want to see me about, Doc?
Well, I really wanted to go over your x-ray results here. Yeah, I'm going to put them up. So, as you can see, what we found.
Yeah, it's an x-ray of my hand.
No, actually, it's not a x-ray of your hand. It's an x-ray of your body.
What are you trying to say? That there's like a hand inside my body?
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I'm telling you.
What the?
Thump, thump. Thump, thump. Thump. Oh, hey. You know, while getting plenty of exercise to get your heart beating fast and beating strong is important, it's also important to get plenty of rest and relaxation. Relaxing helps reduce the stress that the body can feel. In fact, we know stress can actually make people sick. So spend some time also doing some quiet activities. Maybe sitting quietly and reading a book. Or sitting quietly and listening to music. Quiet activities mean sitting calmly. Some people like to do exercises that are slow and calm, like yoga.
Or like Tai Chi.
Or some people just like to do breathing exercises. We've got some to show you. I even actually experienced once a chance to do some healing bowls. When I was in Nepal, they have these healing bowls. I'll show you what they look like. This is a healing bowl, or sometimes known as a singing bowl. And the idea is you can move the stick around it and it'll make a humming sound from its vibrations. And one can relax or meditate to this sound. The vibrations are also supposed to produce healing effects. The other option is just to hit it. These are very popular in places like Tibet and Nepal. I picked up mine while I was in Kathmandu. It's made out of 7 different metals, and I even had a doctor use one of these to help the vibrations relax my body and make my muscles feel better. Oh, wow. There's a belief in something called the chakras, and you've got 7 chakras that need relaxing and de-stressing. Cool. It's also important, of course, to get plenty of sleep.
Oh man, is that kid still snoring?
And in fact, school-age kids, age 6 to 13, should be getting between 9 to 12 hours of sleep. That means a regular bedtime would probably be around 8 o'clock. That means a regular bedtime would probably be around 8 o'clock. So you're getting lots and lots of sleep. Well, 9 to 12 hours is what's needed for your body.
Oh really? Enough with the snoring kid already.
All right, it's time in our episode for this segment that I like to call the Did You Know Fun Facts.
Did you know?
You know, staying healthy doesn't just involve the things that you should do, like getting exercise and washing your hands and eating good food, getting rest, but it also involves the things that you should avoid. Smoking, for one, is a thing that you should avoid.
Yeah.
Most young people are choosing not to smoke, and many smokers are choosing to quit. I mean, most people know that smoking does cause lung cancer, which can be deadly. But did you know it can also seriously harm the heart and the blood vessels in your body? When tobacco smoke gets into somebody's lungs, either from smoking themselves or from somebody else who smokes and breathes that smoke out, and then you breathe it in, that's called secondhand smoke, when you breathe in the smoke from a smoker.
Pew.
Well, that tobacco smoke carries things like nicotine and tar, which can really harm your lungs. In fact, there's a mixture of over 4,000 different chemicals found in tobacco smoke, and at least 60 of them we know of causes harm. And not just harm, but cancer. In fact, let's take a look at just some of those chemicals that are found in cigarettes on this poster called Sucked In.
Sucked in.
Here's what's hiding in cigarettes. Inside a cigarette, there's toluene. Toluene is highly toxic. It's commonly used as an ingredient in paint thinner. Ugh. There's propylene glycol. The tobacco industry claims that it's added to help stop the tobacco from drying out. It's also used in de-icer. There's benzoaprine. You'll find it in coal tar and in cigarette smoke, and it's one of the most potent cancer-causing chemicals in the entire world.
Ew.
You'll find phenol in cigarettes. Phenol is a chemical used in disinfectants to clean germs, the kind you might use to, say, clean a laboratory.
Oh, I don't want to put that in my mouth.
There's arsenic in cigarettes. Yeah, you heard it. Arsenic, that's a deadly poison. This deadly poison makes your lips burn and your breath turn bad. Ugh, cigarette breath.
P.U., you stink.
Smoker's breath, gross. There's butane. Hey, that's used in cigarette lighters. It's highly flammable, and butane is one of the key components used in gasoline. You put that in your car. Why would you put that in your body? There's acetone. It's one of the active ingredients used in nail polish remover. It's quite a strong chemical. There's cadmium. Cadmium causes damage to your liver, your kidneys, and your brain, and it stays in the body for years. Ugh. It's used, by the way, in batteries.
Batteries, my favorite. Oh, what a moron.
There's lead, and we've been trying to avoid lead poisoning for years now. But lead poisoning stunts your growth, and it makes you vomit, and it damages your brain. You use lead in things like car batteries. There's ammonia in cigarettes. Scientists have discovered that ammonia helps you absorb more nicotine. That makes you more addictive to wanting more cigarettes. It keeps you hooked on smoking. And ammonia is often used in things like glass cleaners. There's also formaldehyde in cigarettes. Formaldehyde, we know for sure, causes cancer. It can damage your skin, your lungs, the whole digestive system where you're trying to eat food and digest it. In fact, embalmers use it to preserve dead bodies. Ugh.
Ew.
Last, there's also benzene in cigarettes. That's found in pesticides to kill bugs.
I'll say what?
And in gasoline. Again, you want to put something in your body that's used for killing bugs and filling up your car?
Oh no, I'm a goner!
The smoke created by tobacco carries carbon monoxide. And when you breathe in carbon monoxide, it causes less oxygen to get into the body. So next time you think about smoking or you're around somebody who's smoking, maybe back away and try and stay healthier.
Now you know.
All right, well, that's all the time we have. Well, I'm just going to finish up putting together my skeleton here. The shoulder bone's connected to the chest bone, and the arm bone's connected to the lower arm bone, and the arm bone's connected to the hand bone. See you next time. Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope you learned something new and had fun doing the lessons. Join me next time on another episode of Lessons from the Classroom.